Sanofi, a global and diversified healthcare leader, reports results for the first quarter of 2014. Jérôme Contamine, welcome.
Hello.
You are the CFO of Sanofi. What are your comments on the first quarter financial results?
Actually, Adrian, we have made a good start into 2014. The group's financial performance in the first quarter continued the growth trajectory that emerged at the end of 2013. Total group sales increased 3.5% to more than 7.8 billion euro, driven by the strong performance of diabetes, consumer healthcare, and Genzyme. Our growth platform sales grew 7.9% to 5.8 billion euro and accounted for close to 74% of total sales in Q1, demonstrating the value of Sanofi's integrated business model. First quarter business net income was 1,547 million, increasing by 5.6% at constant exchange rate, and business EPS grew 5.8% at CER to 1.17 euro, which is in line with our full-year financial guidance. And I am pleased to report that our free cash flow after capital expenditures increased by 20.6%, benefiting from better management of our working capital spread evenly across inventory, receivables, and payables.
There's growing excitement in the market around your late-stage pipeline. Can you share the progress your R&D teams have made in the first quarter?
Well, it's true that our pipeline showed steady progress in the first quarter. We presented study results for alirocumab, dupilumab, initiated the Lexilan phase 3 program, and announced plans to resubmit the BLA for Lemtrada. We announced 2 new product launches in the US, Nasacort Allergy 24-hour nasal spray in CHE and NexGard chewables in animal health. We are particularly excited to report that our dengue vaccine met its primary endpoint in the first phase 3 studies in Asia. This is a first-in-class vaccine in an area of huge unmet medical need. The results of the second phase 3 trial, currently underway in Latin America, are expected in the third quarter of 2014. Separately, in R&D, we have further extended our open innovation model, resulting in strengthened partnerships with Regeneron and Alnylam, as well as new collaboration with UCB and SK Chemicals.
Can you update us on your vaccines business? Is it back on track after some manufacturing issues?
Well, this quarter we experienced tough comparisons from the previous quarter period in 2013. For example, we had particularly strong sales for Imovax in Japan and Menactra in Latin America. As a result, sales were 628 million euro, down 4.2%. On one hand, sales benefited from a continued gradual supply recovery of Pentacel and Adacel in the US, but on the other hand, sales reflected a phasing effect in Pentaxim deliveries in emerging markets. Overall, we remain confident in our ability to come back to growth in vaccines for 2014, but as already mentioned, this will be skewed to the second half of the year.
How is your animal health division progressing? Has the recent launch of NexGard shown promising signs of making up for the generic erosion of Frontline?
Well, as you know, 2013 was a challenge. We face increased competitive intensity around our Frontline franchise. This quarter, we saw a bit of recovery for the animal health business, with sales of 517 million euro only slightly declining. We expect a return to growth for Merial, possibly as early as the second quarter of this year, 2014, given that NexGard, our next-generation product for flea and tick control, is off to a good start. NexGard was launched in the US and France in the first quarter. Sales of NexGard were 23 million euro, somewhat beyond our own expectations.
In diabetes, was Lantus able to generate double-digit growth again this quarter? And also, can you confirm that you intend to file your new basal insulin Toujeo, previously known as U300, in the second quarter of 2014?
So our diabetes division posted another strong quarter in Q1 with an increase of sales of 13.2%. Lantus sales, which represent the bulk of the sales, were up 13.5% to 1,448 million euro. In the US, we had an inventory reduction in the trade of around 70 million euro. However, demand was still strong, growing at around mid-single digits, and sales were up 14.5% to 951 million euro. Lantus Solostar represented 60.8% of total Lantus sales in the quarter in the US versus 57% in the first quarter of 2013. And as you said, we are very excited by the prospects of Toujeo, our brand name for U300. And I can confirm that we are on track for a filing of this new basal insulin in the US as well as in Europe in the second quarter of this year. Let's not forget also Lexilan in diabetes. We initiated 2 phase 3 studies in 2 distinct patient populations with this combination of Lantus and Lexemia. Lexilan O in patients insufficiently controlled on OADs, and Lexilan L in patients not at goal on basal insulin.
Can you update us on launch trends for Genzyme's Aubagio and Lemtrada in multiple sclerosis?
Aubagio sales were 78 million euro this quarter versus 20 million euro in the first quarter of 2013. 59 million euro out of these 78 were sales in the US. The launch of the product in the first Western European countries, specifically Germany, Switzerland, and Nordic countries, started in the fourth quarter of 2013, and sales reached 17 million euro in the first quarter of 2014. Following its approval by the European Commission in September, Lemtrada has also been launched in Germany in October 2013, with further rollout across Europe expected in this year, 2014. Lemtrada is also approved in Canada, Australia, Mexico, and Brazil. Q1 sales of the product were 5 million euro. And we are delighted with the outcome of our discussion with the FDA regarding the resubmission of the Lemtrada filing in the second quarter of this year. We will know, upon acceptance of the file, whether we will have a 2 months or a 6 months review period.
The market is always eager to hear about your R&D pipeline. What are the main highlights that we need to watch out for between now and the end of the year?
You're right that our R&D pipeline gets more and more interesting. So we expect multiple regulatory and phase 3 development milestones in 2014. Let me focus on the most important ones. As I mentioned, Toujeo, our new U300, is expected to be submitted to US and EU regulatory authorities for approval in the second quarter of this year. Following constructive discussions with the US FDA, Genzyme plans to resubmit in the second quarter its supplemental biologic license application seeking approval for Lemtrada in multiple sclerosis. We expect FDA decision in the second half of the year. We also expect a regulatory decision for Seldelga in Gaucher disease in the US and in Europe in the second half of 2014. Dupilumab showed strong phase 2A results in atopic dermatitis presented at AAAI in March 2014, and phase 2B top-line results in atopic dermatitis are expected in the second quarter of 2014 and in asthma in the first quarter of 2015. Alirocumab had positive phase 3 monotherapy trial results presented at the ACC in March 2014, and 9 additional phase 3 top-line readouts are expected from June through the third quarter of this year. The results of the second phase 3 trial, currently underway in Latin America with our dengue vaccine, are also expected in the third quarter of 2014. So as you can see, it will be a pretty active year on coming quarters for our R&D late-stage pipeline.
Lastly, now that buying back shares held by your major shareholder L'Oréal no longer seem to be on the cards, what will your priorities be for the use of cash? Acquisitions, share buybacks, or dividends?
So capital allocation is really an important issue in the company at this stage. In the first quarter, we have continued to optimize our capital structure and improve shareholder returns through opportunistic share buyback. Since our full year 2013 results announcement in February, we have bought back over 580 million euro of shares just over a quarter. We've also made significant investments, more than 1.5 billion euro for the future, through our involvement with increasing our share in Regeneron and taking a stake in Alnylam during the first quarter. We recently reached 20% ownership in Regeneron shares, and Sanofi nominated Bob Ingram to be appointed as a member of Regeneron's board of directors. So from April 4th, We will account for the investment in Regeneron using the equity method. We expect this benefit our business net income by about 45 million euros this year.
Jérôme Contamine, CFO of Sanofi, thank you.
Thank you.